What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are continuing on with episode number 22 of Ascendance of a Bookworm. This one is titled Wilma and Holy Scriptures for Kids. Okay. So we met Wilma last time as one of the retainers that we actually wanted, that mine actually wanted to work for her, but ultimately couldn't, I believe, because of because of the what was it? Because of the orphanage. That's the word I was looking for. They need a Grey Robe priestess there to actually look after the rest of the kids there, and she's the only one really that can do that now. So Mine's mother, Effa, is pregnant again. So we've got a third kid on the way for this family, and as a gift, Mine is like, okay, let's make a picture book. Let's actually make a picture book. So she's actually going back to our original goal from the very beginning of the series to make a book. That was the original goal, was to make books. That's where Wilma comes in, because she is talented at artwork, so she wanted her to do some art for her, so get her a retainer, she can do art for me. There we go. Works out, ultimately. But we also, at the behest of Ferdinand, that she needs to learn to play the Harspiel. I don't know how you're meant to actually pronounce it. And we get assigned Rosina as a tutor as well for that, who used to work for a... I forget what the name of the previous mistress was, but they worked for the previous mistress along with Wilma and had very special treatment for it because it was around music. She ultimately didn't do any normal work that regular retainers like Gil and Delia are doing. And Fran for that matter. So her attitude towards Mine and the other retainers seems a bit lofty. It's why would I be doing that sort of work, even though she's a Grey Robe herself and should be doing that sort of work, just because of her previous master, essentially, or mistress, I should say. So ultimately, Mine's just look, this isn't going to be like then. We all need to pull together and work together and do all our fair share. You don't have to do everything that they do. As long as you're doing this bit. I think paperwork ultimately became one of the things that she ended up doing alongside it. And then, of course, obviously, you're going to teach me how to play the Harspiel as well. But just work with me here. It's not going to be as cushy as your previous life, but it's going to be just as good, really. You just need to work for what you get, which is very, very good. And we ultimately resolve that. We actually play a song for Ferdinand after the week or 10-day time span we were given to learn this song. And, we actually do okay. And now we've got the issue of Wilma. Due to traumatic events in the past, she is uncomfortable around men, which might explain why the Fran situation. There was a weird look between Fran and Wilma when they were visiting her that kind of didn't make sense at the time, but now that we have this potential backstory of Wilma, now we kind of understand it. So the question is, what do we do about that? Do we do anything about that? Does Mine do anything about that? What can she do? Just say, oh, men are great, because that's a lie. You're in the church. Men are not great. Let's be real here. Most of the men here, except for Ferdinand, maybe a couple of the Grey-Robed priests, I don't think there's any good Blue-Robed priests in this church. Just at a guess. I'm just going to guess there probably isn't any good ones apart from Ferdinand. Just a safe bet, I think. Then we've also got Holy Scriptures for Kids. So I guess she wants to get the kids being able to read the Holy Scriptures, not just the nobles. I'm sure that's going to go down well with Ferdinand. That's a conversation, probably. Going into the back room for that one. Anyway, let's load up the episode here, shall we? Watching this one on Crunchyroll as per usual. The link to that will be in the description below. In the bottom left corner of the screen, round about here or so, you're going to see the timer for the episode, so you can sync it up with your own footage. I'll count us down 3, 2, 1, play, and then on play, you start the episode. I would show more than that, such as the bottom of the screen and subtitles, which is what I originally did when I first started this channel, but I just can't do it because of copyright reasons. Copyright companies from Japan will eviscerate you for even that. Just showing the subtitles still eviscerates you. Even doing it this format, I'm sure if I actually uploaded any of the free shows that have been specifically targeted this season, such as Princess Connect, Woodpecker's Detective, or Satan Academy from last season, if I dared to try and upload anything about that, even with just timer format, I'm sure they'd still try and go for me. So it's just a case of just work around it as best you can, and at least in this way, I have very much a legal case of being able to be claiming as this, false copyright. Anyway, with that said, oh boy, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play. Wilma and Rosina. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. OP time? OP time. I haven't really commented much on this series, like art style and stuff, but I really do enjoy it. Also, another thing that's like relevant because of the events of season 1, you can tell like just a small attention to detail just to remain consistent, but like mine, the family, Benno, and the trade company, they all have the slightly glistening hair where it's been treated with the all-in-one shampoo that mine created, whereas everyone in the church has that same like without it, except for Ferdinand by the looks of things. Ferdinand's the only one who seems to have some form of shine to his hair. So I'm not sure if a case of just the nobles have also bought it, or if he's just special in some way. But Wilma and Holy Scriptures for Kids, Chapter 22. Here we go. 3 little pigs, okay. Mm-hmm. And then viciously ate it with a side of potatoes. So the wolf hired a bulldozer. So. What's a pig? I can't believe I guessed that. Okay. They don't know what a pig and a wolf is, yeah. They wouldn't know. Mm-hmm. They were still excited to have the opportunity. Hmm. Ah, okay. Hmm. Okay. Consideration. Mm-hmm. That's the fruit that turns into Trombe, right? We're intentionally growing Trombe now. Okay. I feel like it's a bit dangerous. Okay. I guess they aren't that dangerous then. Of course, Momotaru. It's always Momotaru, isn't it? Ask your mother for fairy tales of your youth. Stories from our world probably won't work. Or something from the scriptures, okay. Okay. Kids' first Bible, basically. That's a lot. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Okay. Do they know what ink is? Hmm. That blank stick. She didn't. Uh, that's not gonna fly. Uh, okay. Mm-hmm. Oil-based ink. There's probably more types than that. Yep. Yep. Oh yeah, the original promise. Oh boy. Soot, okay. Should be plenty of that. The mother must be so concerned. What is my child doing? Ferdinand's just like, what on earth? Mm-hmm. I mean, mm-hmm. I mean, ugh. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be a problem. This is a problem. It's probably a problem, isn't it? Oh, is he going to be on board with it? But... Oh! I thought that'd be a bit... I thought that'd be way more of a problem. The scriptures are not fit for common folk or something. Good. Wow, that's very detailed. Wow, okay. Wow. Actually works. Oh. Yeah. Yep. It's not as simple as just being in the presence of men. It's the memories of it. Alright. Is mine going to get involved in this? How can she? Hmm. Okay. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Best yourself, improve your repertoire, as it were. Are they going to mention something? Oh, they're actually going to talk about it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, not intentionally meddling. Okay. 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 Progressing on both sides. Yes. That's a very good question. Mm-hmm. Well, technically true. Not admitting her isekai nature yet. It won't. It'll never make sense. Could potentially blame it on the overwhelming mana that comes from the devouring. Ah, but is she actually gonna say it now? Because she told Lutz. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's how she's explaining it. Okay, to them. Hmm. Yeah, naturally. Ooh. Oh, we're getting fancy now. We don't get to see it until it's done, I guess. There we go. Like she said, just needed time. Mm-hmm. Inadvertently helped her. Nice. All right. Of course. Yes. Here we go. Oh, wow. Yes. That looks great. Looks much better than the first one they did. And she's crying, of course. Oh, come on, mine. You know Tears of Happiness. Aw. Mm-hmm. Aha, I'm going for Turi for binding. Nice. Very nice, okay. Journey complete. On day one, we've made a book. Don't cry on it, you're gonna ruin it. Yep. Yep. Nice. That was a very heartwarming episode, okay. Now, how's that going to go down, though? I'm still surprised Ferdinand was so easily on board with having the Holy Scriptures be produced for the masses. Like, he didn't seem to show any reservation towards that being a bad idea. I thought there might be a bit of an issue for giving the Holy Scriptures to commoners. Perhaps the other one, which I can never remember which is high or head, the dickhead one, because that's easier to say. Maybe he'll take issue with it, but that was a great episode. And mine has completed her mission. She has made her first book. Now she just needs to finish the kids' book and see how the Holy Scripture book goes to everyone else. And from then on, I mean, yeah. What from then? Just keep making books, I guess. And ultimately work towards that goal of working in a library. Nice. Any after credits? I don't think there is. Just next. Oh yeah, this little bit. Harvest Festivals and staying home. Okay. Yeah. Naturally. Yep. Yep, he is. That's nice we saw at work. That's very much like, okay, this illustration that they're using for the end of the episode, that looks very much in, like, just the facial style, very much reminds me of Hanako-san from last season. Just the way the eyes are drawn, like, it very much reminds me of Hanako style eyes. Don't know if it's just me that thought that when I first saw that, but yeah. Yeah. So Gutenberg, let me just pull him up so I can accurately quote who he was. Here he is. Johannes Gutenberg, or Johannes Gensfleisch zur Laden zum Gutenberg. Sorry, Neb, I don't know how to pronounce German that well. Born in 1400 to 1468, a German goldsmith, inventor, printer, and publisher who introduced printing to Europe with the printing press. Hence why he is the god to mine and her love of books. 68 in the 1400s. That's a good life. To make it to 68 in the 1400s, that is a very, very long life for that sort of time. Setting out the workshop. The Gutenberg Bible. Yeah. He would be, in mind's eyes, he would be a god, essentially. It makes perfect sense. But the one thing I will say... I just saw a comment on Crunchyroll. You have invented printing press. Lets you build the zoo. Religion spreads 50% faster instead of 25%. You can finally convene the World Congress. Civilization references for the win. Where was I going with that? I've lost my train of thought. I forgot what I was about to say because I was laughing at the dumb Civ joke. No, it's gone. It's completely gone now. I've forgotten what I was going to say. Right, the Trombe. Yes, that's the one issue I have with this, is that the paper they make is still heavily reliant on Trombe, which... I don't know if it's particularly safe to keep doing this. Like, it's also very much reliant on Mine herself being the one to infuse the mana into the plant, into the Tau fruit seeds that turns it into Trombe. Like, it happens naturally over time anyway, but to accelerate it, she uses her mana, as far as I'm aware, yes? And then throws it down and it becomes Trombe. And I thought Trombe was meant to be a little more dangerous, especially towards kids, but at this point we've just got kids farming it, so I'm not sure how dangerous it ultimately is. Perhaps it was dangerous because it was rare for a normal person to encounter it, and they wouldn't know what to do, and they wouldn't normally have a blade on hand. So I guess that's why it has a dangerous air to it, but when you actually know what it is and know what you're doing, it's really not that big a deal. Like, I'm gonna guess, like fire, for example. If you've never encountered fire before... No, that's a terrible analogy. Never mind. I haven't got an analogy for this. I try to put analogies to everything, but not for this, I don't. But yeah, this was a good episode. Wilma overcame her own internal struggle by herself, mainly. Like, mine gave her a little push unintentionally, but ultimately it was Wilma herself who managed to push past the boundaries of, push past the boundaries to actually move on and go outside and actually overcome her fear. Well, I don't think she's fully overcome with it. She's a little more comfortable now, and over time, I'm sure she's going to get better and better. That's probably what's going to happen. But yeah, good character progression for her, at least. So, with that said, I don't feel the need to keep talking, really. It was just a very enjoyable, light-hearted episode. Quite emotional as well, for the most part, and very feel-good episode, and I very much enjoyed that. Now what's mine going to do? Like I said, we still got the child's book, and we've still got the ultimate goal of a library, but how is the book going to go down with the masses? And how many of them can they actually produce in a certain time frame? Because it's like, it's all very well making the first book, but how many can you make over a set period of time? That's going to be the big deal here. And how much do they sell for? Like, because you got to make a profit on them, obviously. Benno coming in here. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. So, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. Leave a like if you did. Helps grow the channel out, which is more important now than ever. Don't forget, you can also leave your comments down in the YouTube comment section. There's also my Discord server, which is in the description, so you can talk about these shows a bit more openly and like go into a bit more detail and have back and forth on this sort of thing, which YouTube comments don't really allow so easily. And don't forget to hit subscribe to see next week's episode, as well as the rest of the Spring 2020 reactions you can find on my channel. Thank you everyone for watching, and until next time, see you guys later.